It was one of those perfect summer afternoons, the kind where the sun hits just right, the grill is sizzling, and laughter drifts through the backyard like music. My cousin Lisa had just gotten into law school, and the whole family gathered to celebrate. My parents pulled out all the stops, lawn chairs in a big circle, Uncle Ron on the stereo duty with his classic rock playlist, and coolers overflowing with drinks. Kids were darting through sprinklers, adults holding red Solo cups, burgers smoking on the grill. Everyone was in good spirits, or so I thought. When I arrived, I immediately felt that tension you can't explain but you know is there. Jason, my older brother, was already a few beers deep, holding court like he always does, loud, cocky, making people laugh by mocking someone or something. He's always been the golden child, charming when he wants to be, manipulative always. I knew he drank too much at family events, but I never thought he'd cross this line. I tried to keep my distance, but Jason never lets things go. He spotted me almost immediately and made a beeline in my direction. I was talking to my uncle by the grill when I heard him behind me, loudly cracking jokes about my ex. The breakup had been tough, still fresh, and Jason was dragging it out in the open like it was stand-up comedy. He laughed, mimicked my crying, even faked a phone call to dump me again. People chuckled uncomfortably, not knowing what to do. I felt my face burn. I turned and calmly asked him to stop. That's when something shifted in him. He walked closer, towering over me. He smirked like he was waiting for me to break. I didn't give him that. I said, "Knock it off, Jason." Firm, but still trying to keep the peace. He didn't like that. His expression twisted, like I had dared to challenge him in his kingdom. He got right in my face and muttered, "You always ruin everything." Then louder, "Maybe if you weren't such a psycho, someone might actually love you." Something in me snapped. I said, "Say that again, and I swear," but I didn't get to finish. He swung. His fist connected with my nose so hard, I heard a crunch. The ride to the hospital was a blur. I remember holding a wad of paper towels against my face, feeling the blood soak through within seconds. The pain was sharp, deep, and humiliating. But what hurt more than the break in my nose was the complete silence from my mom. She rode in the front seat, arms folded, staring out the window like she didn't even know me. Not one question, not a single "Are you okay?" from the woman who used to sing me to sleep when I had nightmares. When we got to urgent care, I checked in alone. Jason wasn't there. He'd stayed back at the barbecue like nothing had happened, probably laughing with his beer in hand, while I sat in a cold waiting room with tissues shoved up my nostrils, trying not to cry. The doctor confirmed what I already knew. My nose was broken. Badly, I needed a procedure to straighten it. Swelling, bruising, time off work. It would be weeks before I looked or felt normal again. I texted my mom the diagnosis, and all she wrote back was, "Don't make a big deal out of this." That message shattered something inside me. No apology, no anger toward Jason, just an order to keep quiet. I didn't understand. I couldn't wrap my head around how a mother could witness her daughter get assaulted by her own brother and decide I was the problem. She didn't even try to spin it as an accident. She just wanted it gone, erased from memory. The next day, I woke up to my phone buzzing with texts, not sympathy, not support, gossip. My cousin messaged asking if I was okay after my little fall. My jaw dropped. Apparently, Mom had told everyone I tripped over the sprinkler in the yard, slipped and hit my nose on a stone. It was laughable, really. I mean, who breaks their nose forward like that from a backyard stumble? But it didn't matter. The story was spreading and people were eating it up. I called my mom furious, asking her how she could lie like that. She was calm, cold. She said, "You want to ruin your brother's life over one mistake." Like I was being selfish for even speaking. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Then she dropped the real bomb. "If you go telling people he hit you, I swear, don't bother coming home again." For weeks, I barely left my apartment. I was supposed to be healing, both physically and emotionally, but all I could do was replay that day in my mind, the punch, the blood, the look on my mother's face, not fear, not concern, just embarrassment. Like I had caused her trouble by bleeding all over the patio. My face was swollen for days, then purple, then yellow. Even after the bruising faded, I could still feel the ache deep in my bones, but the worst part wasn't the pain, it was the silence. No one called, No one checked in. The people who had once claimed to love me had chosen to believe a lie because it was easier than facing the truth about Jason. I spent hours scrolling through old family photos, wondering when things had changed. When had I become the outsider? When had Jason become untouchable? I started writing everything down, not because I had a plan yet, but because it was the only thing that made me feel sane. I documented the incident. The cover-up, the conversations, every little detail. I knew that one day I'd do something with it. I just didn't know what. Not yet. One afternoon, a few months later, I had to go back to my parents' house to pick up some boxes they'd been nagging me to remove from the garage. I almost didn't go. My stomach was in knots the entire drive, but I told myself I'd be quick, in and out, no drama. When I got there, the house was quiet. Jason's car was out front. I froze. I didn't want to see him, not ever again, but I figured I could avoid him if I moved fast. As I walked past the kitchen, I heard voices. My mom and Jason. My name came up and instinct took over. I slipped my phone out of my pocket and started recording. At first, it was just gossip, complaints about me not moving on. My mom said I was being overdramatic and bitter. Jason laughed and said, "She still thinks she can turn people against me. It's adorable." Then he said it, the words that made my hand tremble as I held the phone. Honestly, if I knew punching her would shut her up this long, I'd have done it sooner. I couldn't breathe. My heart was pounding so loud I thought they'd hear it through the wall. I just stood there, hidden behind the kitchen entryway, phone still recording, listening as my mother chuckled and said, "Just don't let her bait you again. Next time, people might actually see." Jason laughed and muttered, "Whatever. No one believes her anyway. She's just the crazy little sister with a victim complex." The rage that pulsed through me in that moment was something I had never felt before. Not even at the BBQ, not even in the hospital. This was different. This was clarity. For the first time since the punch, I realized exactly what I had to do. I backed away slowly, made it to my car, and sat there shaking. I played the recording again. I needed to be sure it was all there, and it was. Every word, the gaslighting, the cruelty, the open confession that he hit me, and that she helped cover it up. I didn't tell anyone right away. I wanted to be smart, precise. I knew if I blew up too soon, they'd try to spin it like they always did. So I researched. I found out where Jason worked. Public relations for a health and wellness brand that prided itself on integrity and family values. Perfect. I found the email for their HR department. Then I looked up the pastor at my mom's church. Then the school where she volunteered on weekends. I didn't send the audio right away. I waited. I edited the clip, cleaned up the noise, added subtitles. I made it undeniable. Then, on a Monday morning, I sent the audio to every single one of them. Anonymous accounts, secure emails, nothing traceable. And once that was done, I uploaded the file to Reddit. I blurred their voices slightly, but left enough to recognize them. I posted the transcript in full. I titled the post, "My brother broke my nose. My mother helped him cover it up. I have proof." Within hours, it exploded. Thousands of upvotes. People were furious. Some recognized Jason's voice. Others identified the brand he worked for. They started tagging his company. Commenters found his social media, his girlfriend. His colleagues, screenshots were flying everywhere. The thread was trending. I watched it unfold from my bed, wrapped in a blanket, sipping tea, reading each comment with the calm satisfaction of someone who just opened a door they'd waited their whole life to kick down. In the end, it wasn't just about the punch. It wasn't just about a broken nose, or the lies, or even the humiliation of being made the villain in my own story. It was about finally being heard, about reclaiming the truth that had been buried under years of favoritism, manipulation, and silence. Jason lost his job. His carefully crafted golden boy image shattered under the weight of his own cruelty. His girlfriend left him, calling me in tears to say she wished she'd seen through him sooner. My mom, she became a ghost at her church, no longer the admired volunteer or the proud mother. People saw her for who she really was, someone who would protect a lie if it meant preserving her perfect family image. And me, I walked away from that wreckage with my head high. I didn't need their apologies, though some came far too late. I didn't need to be welcomed back. I had found peace elsewhere, with people who believed me. With the truth finally out in the open, I healed, I grew stronger, I stopped questioning my worth and started honoring my voice. They say revenge is best served cold, but to me it was warm, healing, honest, because when the truth finally came out, it burned away every lie they tried to build around me. And from the ashes, I built a life they could never touch again.